If you are interested in starting your own podcast, we use Buzzsprout because it is simple and easy to use. Buzzsprout can get your show listed on every major platform while giving you the resources for a great podcast website, audio players that can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening to your podcast, and tools to promote your episodes. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and that is why over 100,000 podcasters are already subscribed to Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Following the link in our episode descriptions lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you. So in return, you will receive a $20 Amazon gift card from Buzzsprout while signing up for a paid plan. Most importantly, every subscription through our link is always appreciated and helps support our show so we can continue delivering the quality content that you guys listen to. That being said, back to the show.
Hello and welcome to Comic Book Junkies. I'm Andrew,
This is Joe.
and this time we've got the $10 holler. Might even be Joe's $10 holler.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, this guy's like, yo, I know what we should do next. We should find good books you can get for $10 or less,
Hey,
you know?
hey, wait a minute. I got hollered at in the parking lot today. On my
Really?
way to my car, yeah, I was closing up the store and the cleaning lady says, "What a handsome man." I'm like,
Whoa.
"What?" And she's like, "Valentine's Day was yesterday, but happy Valentine's Day." And I just like safe
Damn.
travels. Yeah.
She
So
lick her lips?
I didn't look.
Oh, you should have.
It was
You weren't
dark.
making eye contact the whole time.
No, I knew it was our cleaning lady, so I felt safe, but I didn't want to stick around to find out either.
Stick around. No. You know how sticky you get? The cleaning lady at work. My bad, dog. But yeah, back to
Proceed.
what we were talking about. $10 holler, man. So this is gonna be a bunch of books. Well, Joe's got a bunch of books. I sat there and I thought I had a pretty nice list. I have about 8 books. But what we're doing is we're going through and we're going to talk about, books at like the $10 price point. Might be a little bit higher, might be a little bit lower, that ballpark, and what we think are good buys. Whether it's just cool, whether it's speculative, whatever. And we're just going to riff on that. Like I said, I have like 8 and Joe has like, I don't know, 5 times that. So this
And
is
I'm
Joe's
sure
holler.
Burger could too, but like just to put some perspective on this situation, we wanted to come up with like about 10 books that were like cool for 10 bucks or under. But I just got home from work 30 minutes ago, and I think we both took different strategies to this. I just thumbed through my minor key box. By the way, great
Yeah.
excuse to do that because I don't do it very often. And I was like, oh, I bought that for 10 bucks or less. Oh, I
Yeah.
bought that for, and I just made like a list of like 30 plus books within 30 minutes. So I am pretty excited about this.
Well, that makes more sense. I should have done the exact same thing. I don't know why. I was kind of busy doing some other stuff. So I was just looking on eBay at some books that I got for around 10 bucks myself, but I was basically seeing if I had like 5 or more copies, I would put it on there. So that's probably why I have a small list. If there's stuff I got for 10 bucks, I'm sure there's plenty because most of my minor keys are that, but I was kind of referencing like eBay and some other stuff like that because like I'm also proud to tell you that Devil Dinosaur is like a minimum $25 book. So it's almost nice that it didn't make the list because Devil Dinosaur deserves respect
Yeah, I didn't put that on my list because I knew it would fetch more. The people love
because
it.
it's sweet. It's like a Uncle Sam letting you know, get your Devil Dinosaur one. Like it belongs in the collection.
But speaking of which, I would love to start with Marvel because I actually found more Marvel books than DC for 10 bucks and under. So if this list goes longer than I think, we could even save the DC for another time. But let's see how far we get.
I have 3 Marvel books. Can I give you my 3 first since I know yours is substantially longer?
You got it. Let's talk
All
about
right.
it. Maybe your three's on my list.
I'm sure you've got plenty of books. So let's see. The first one, this one's probably not on your list. I have a Thor 411. If you like Thor, it's a cool Thor key because it's also the first New Warriors. I think it's a cameo of Night Thrasher, and it's got a cool Juggernaut cover. So I mean, for 10 bucks, I think it's slept on a little bit. Not like I don't think huge ceiling, but I think it's cool. So that one probably wasn't on your list, but I think this one may. X-Men 53 from Volume 2, the first appearance of Onslaught.
It is.
I
Yep.
knew it.
You're right for both. I did not have the Thor book on my radar, but I did have X-Men 53 on that list.
Yeah, I think that's a good book too. I mean, Onslaught's pretty sweet.
Can we get a cosign?
Cosign. So those are my first 2, and here's my last one. This one may also be on yours while we're talking Marvel. Transformers issue 8, the first appearance of the Dinobots.
You got it. That's also on
Yeah,
my list.
I knew it. I mean, that's just sick. Anytime you see dinosaurs or robots, I mean, what's better than both being the same thing? They're dinosaur robots. That's always worth $10. It's a rule of cool. I mean, like it's sick. Like look at it and tell me you wouldn't give $10 for it.
Yes, I think with anything, not even just comic books, like the cool factor alone will appreciate the value of certain products.
Cool
And
is cool.
cool is cool. Cool does not go out of style.
Yeah.
But I did have two other books from the X-Men title of that volume.
Shoot.
So I would like to touch on those before I go through my really long list.
Touch on
X-Men
them.
11, classic cover that you can get under $10. And then also another classic cover, X-Men 24, where Gambit and Rogue are kissing.
Oh, wow.
That one's not going to appreciate a lot. Neither is 11 because they're not first appearances, but they are classic covers. So if you like the X-Men for $10 or under, I think you can get both copies.
I cosign. Yeah, I think that's cool.
But I'm going to start from the top here and then
Go
see if
ahead.
Berger agrees, disagrees, whatever the facts. So I kind of did it alphabetically because I was looking through my minor keys and I have everything alphabetized and in order numerically. So Captain America 275. So that's the second Baron Zemo, and it's also Baron Zemo in the classic costume. Preferably a newsstand if you could find it, but Baron Zemo is such a big character, and a lot of people can't afford what is it, issue 6 of volume 1 of Captain America.
Of the
So
Avengers.
yeah, of the Avengers, excuse me. But second Baron Zemo, you could probably find for $10 or less, and he's still a huge villain, especially with all the Thunderbolt stuff coming out. So that was a book I would put on your guys' radar. And then two other books from Captain America. One more from that volume, though, issue 360. I think you can get a first Crossbones for $10 or less.
Oh yeah.
More likely 359 than 360, but I still think 360 is doable. And if you're getting a first full Crossbones, I think you should buy that for $10 or less every time.
Yeah.
Now, it's a different volume, but it's a book Berger got me, Captain America 34. It's the first appearance of Bucky Barnes as Captain America. I don't see that as a bad investment for $10 or less either.
Yeah. Most of the time when I see it, it's less. I feel
Right.
like it's a slept on quick grab.
And I gotta say, I mean, it probably would have appreciated by now, so maybe it's going nowhere. But a lot of those $5 to $10 books or less, Berger has just gifted me. And some of them have appreciated pretty high. Like, what was that stupid book that you got me and my younger brother for like $3 a piece?
Was it the Young Avengers
Yeah.
one? Their first
Yeah.
appearance?
Yeah, and he sold his copy for $300 at like the height of COVID, and I think I
Yeah, I
sold
came
mine
to
for
you
like a
guys.
hundred. And
I was like, you guys gotta sell now.
yeah, so that's a Burger spec book, early spec. So
I picked you up didn't I get you like a Hulk 340?
you did for like $10 or less too. So Burger is usually on.
Yeah, but I'm really glad I brought a really tiny list for you.
No, all
You'll
good,
get no
brother.
secrets. I'm just kidding. I just wasn't thinking like that. Don't worry, I'm gonna thumb through the box the next time we go through
Yeah,
one of
if
these
you guys
lists.
like this, we'll do like this again, but maybe a different price point, or we'll
I
do
think I
this
was too
again.
strict, but I like hearing your list though. It's nice to just be like, yeah, I know, I agree.
All right, so that's all I got for the captain. And I find like you should probably look for some of the main titles too, because I mean people just like those characters like Captain America or X-Men, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the next one we're going to is Daredevil. So issue 174 is the first hand.
Oh.
That's a book you can don't laugh at that.
The hand.
Yeah, the Hand
I ain't
Clan.
scared of the hand.
I
What's it
prefer
gonna
the
do?
mouth, but I appreciate the hand.
A good one. Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
dog.
But the Hand is actually one of Daredevil's biggest villains, and for it being
Oh,
like $10 or less, that's crazy to me.
yeah, for real.
Yeah. And then two
I
issues
would love to
later.
get the hand for $10 or less.
Yeah, that one you probably can't afford for $10 or less, but you can get the comic copy for $10 or less.
Yeah, dude, get that. Get any hand you can for $10. It's a
And
good
then
deal.
two issues later you got Daredevil 176. So that's the first master stick.
The hand and stick.
Yeah, the hand and
Stick.
stick. So it's a great combination. The stick taught Daredevil a lot. And for that being his mentor,
He is
I think
Catholic.
it's worth it. But in the same breath, I mean, Stick's kind of an old guy, so I don't see that one appreciating as much, but it's still a very iconic character. And to get that for $10, I think it's worth it, even if it doesn't appreciate.
No, yeah, it's definitely a cool pickup for sure. I mean, yeah, like a mentor role.
Yeah, stop. And then lastly in that same volume, 232, First Duke. I feel like that's a pretty big Daredevil villain that a lot of people kind of shy away from. That one you could get for $5 or less, to be honest with you. But I mean, I think it's worth a flyer because if he ever shows up anywhere, I mean, that could be like a $25 book. Last one I got for Daredevil, it's a later volume, but issue 21 features the cameo of the first Superior Spider-Man. I think
Oh,
Superior Spider-Man's got legs, so if you got
he's got two of them.
I mean like the potential to grow in value.
I
So
know.
yeah. So I if you could find that one for $10 or less, I think that's worth it, even though it's a little newer.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I looked into that one a while back, but I don't think I even got the Superior Spider-Man first apps. I might need to do that. The problem is that there's so many, it makes me want none. Because there's a bunch.
Yeah, there's way too many. I think some are better than others, but in the same breath, yeah, it's one of those situations where it's like it could appear in five different issues, so it appreciates all of them,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
there's
But
too much
that
confusion.
there is, but I would say that's probably the earliest cameo, and I feel like that would be the one to go with if you are going to go with one of them.
I think I agree.
I guess another newer book, Death of Venom verse 2, the variant where Kid Venom's actually on the cover. That one surprisingly didn't go anywhere, but I feel like it's not too late still. I feel like they're trying really hard by giving him some ongoings and some appearances in some other books. So I'm hoping that catches on. And if it does, I think it's also got a lot of room for potential, specifically, probably the variant with him on the front of it. I was a little disappointed with the initial launch, but hopefully that takes off too because it was like a kind of perfect blend of like manga and comic books.
Yeah.
So if you're into that, going into
You are.
Incredible Hulk 347, the first Joe Fix-It.
Sick.
I feel like you could find that for $10, right?
I feel like you could. I feel like it's really like a $20 book at least. But I feel like, if you look around the right places, you can get one for $10. Yeah.
I mean, Grey
Like,
Hulk's sweet. I mean, he first appeared as Grey Hulk, and so
yeah.
I think it's worth a flyer if you could find one for $10.
Yeah, no, it's a cool book for sure. I like seeing those I think that's always a good value because I already have one, but like every time I see one in the wild that's like $20 or under, to be honest, I'm like, that's solid. I'm like, somebody should get that, but I'm not gonna just go and buy them all up.
I feel like a
But
lot of the Hulk books are stupid cheap unless you're talking about like first Wolverine, and I don't know really why that is.
Thanos. Oh wait, Thanos is Iron Man. Never mind. Yeah, it really is just the Wolverine books. Isn't
Yeah,
that weird?
it is weird. So
Because
some of
I
those
mean,
Hulk books might make my $20 or $25 or less list if we do one, but yeah, I mean Hulk keys are pretty affordable.
yeah, like the only ones that are expensive are like the OG 1 through 6, and then honestly 180, 181 now too. But
Here's some ones that are kind of fringe. So correct me if I'm wrong.
okay,
Miss Marvel 9, First Deathbird. You think
probably
you
get
can
that
get
for
that
ten
for 10
bucks.
bucks or less? And is it worth it?
Probably, I would get that for $10. I don't think it's really gonna go anywhere too crazy.
Yeah, this one has like a pretty low ceiling, but a pretty high floor.
I think it's decent. Yeah, 10 to $20. I wouldn't pay much more than that for it though. I don't think it's worth much more than that to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got potential, but like only if they start going into space with the X-Men. That'd be kind of cool though. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. And then my other one is also kind of a flyer, but in a similar realm. So New Mutants 9, First Celine. So it's kind of like a really unknown X-Men character, but she's been featured in all of the new X-Men comic books. So I'm wondering if eventually she gets featured in anything animated or live action if that book grows. I feel like you find them everywhere, and that's a book you could probably find for $5 or less. But
Yeah.
I've picked them up every time I've seen them for five. But going on to some more concrete answers, Punisher issue one of the ongoing series. I don't know if that's a little too far out from $10. I don't know that it will appreciate a lot, but I feel like that's a pretty safe purchase for $10.
For sure.
Kind of same thing with a lot of issue ones that aren't first appearances. Another one is Red Sonja one. I'd pick that up for $1.
Wait,
She's got a
which Red Sonja one? There's a lot of those.
volume one.
I got you. I don't even know if I know the cover to be honest. I always see like the Marvel feature or not Marvel feature. You know what I'm talking about. I always see like those ones. What's the cover look like?
It's kind of inappropriate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's got these big jugs. It's
Sick.
crazy. Yeah. So that's also why I think it's worth $10.
Yep, that's $10 is worth it.
Especially because it's her well, I don't know if it's volume one for sure, but it's definitely volume one of Marvel. So I would
Okay.
imagine. And I don't know, I feel like that character has a pretty huge cult following.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to shell out the money for like the first cameo or first full appearance or whatever, issue one is you can usually find for $10. Going on, I got Secret Wars 2 issue 3. So that's the first full Beyonder. I feel like
Hmm.
it's a pretty big character, and I think the Secret Wars 1 is the better buy. It's only a cameo appearance, but I think the value is still there. I think more people look for that as the Beyonder book than issue 3 of the second Secret Wars. In the same breath, the first full appearance of the character is worth $10 or less, I think.
Yeah.
I got Superior Spider-Man issue one on my list. I don't even think it's a first full appearance, but it is his first ongoing. I think if you could find it for $10 or less, it's worth it because the first appearances are so scattered between a lot of books. Issue one isn't a bad place to start for something like that. The same thing with the Thing issue one, especially with that Fantastic Four relaunch for the Marvel Universe. I don't know if that's more of a $20 book per se, but I think an ongoing of the Thing for $10 or less is kind of cool.
For sure.
All right. Uncanny X-Men 191, First Nimrod. I think Burger picked up that book for me, and
Yeah.
he also got himself a copy, and they were
Yeah.
both like $10 or less, right?
Yeah. They weren't any more than $10 a piece. I remember being pumped on it.
So this is one I'm a little more passionate about because I feel like this one has a lot of room to grow and is $10
Cool
all day.
character. It's because it's in like that later period. Like not too late, but kind of we're getting out of the golden age of X-Men. And it's just
Sure,
like
but I mean
sitting
that's
there.
still prime time for like X-Men stuff.
It is. You're right, all the way through, to be honest. Because like the life, death, and all that happens right after that, and all those other storylines, to be honest. It's not till never mind.
Yeah, so I mean like I get what you're saying, like issues like
I just think of such the early
94 to
issues.
like 140 something are like the
Yeah,
best issues. But honestly, the story itself is pretty
it's
good
still
through like the
good.
first like 250 issues.
I just got my
And
collector mindset on.
yeah, and a Nimrod for $10 is worth it.
No, yeah, I love the Nimrod for $10. That's good character. I like it when they used him in House of X and Powers of X. I really liked how like that implemented that concept, like how he's ultimately gonna whoop their ass because he's sweet, dude. He'll just adapt.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty big X-Men villain for pretty cheap. I got Uncanny X-Men 248, so it's the first time Jim Lee works on the X-Men. Now that one I'm a little less passionate about because I don't think it really has a lot of room to grow, but it's a cool cover and I like Jim Lee art, so that's
Colossus cover.
yeah,
Yeah, I like that one too. It
yeah.
is a cool cover.
And then last but not least for Marvel, I got X Factor 92. It's the first appearance of Exodus, which is also a pretty big X-Men character, and
True.
$10 or less. So
Yeah.
that really concludes everything I had for Marvel. And you put your three in. I have one independent book. Do you have any independent?
No.
I think if you could find a Spawn issue one for $10, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find one, it's definitely worth it. I feel like people are charging more nowadays, though. I feel like that's like people are wanting like at least $30 for them now.
Oh, really?
That's what I think. That's what I've been seeing. Every time I see them, they're just like they sell too. Like
Interesting.
they were all priced way more than $10.
Hmm.
If you can get one for $10, do it.
Maybe
It's a cool
I'm a
book.
little out of the price range on that one then. But I feel like I see them everywhere. So
Yeah,
I mean, maybe you can get it talked down to $10 because like
yeah,
I mean, our LCS had like 5 copies last time I looked, and sometimes I even see them at the antique stores.
yeah. They're like everywhere, but depends on the price.
Word. Well, that's all I got. So I think we have enough time to move to DC. What's your list look like?
So I got Green Arrow 12 from Volume 3, the first onomatopoeia.
I did not have that on my list. So Actually, really good book, and that's what you got me too, isn't it?
Uh-huh. I got both our copies for like a total of $4.
Yeah. Shout out Burger. Burger specs on these $10 or less books. Usually he's on point, so I co-sign.
Hell yeah. I appreciate the trust. So yeah, definitely that. Teen Titans 37 from Volume 3, first appearance of Miss Martian.
I did have that, bro.
Yeah,
And issue 39 is like a first full app,
I believe so.
but
That's a cheap one
37's
too.
the one to get.
Cooler cover as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, I thought that one's cool, Miss Martian. She's big in Young Justice.
she's big.
Yeah, she big. And she cool with the Martian Manhunter, obviously, so he's sweet. So
No,
by
but good call
association.
out. Like some of these characters have so much history in either animated shows or whatever, and it just like a ticking time bomb before they show up somewhere and the book actually explodes.
I agree. Next up, Green Arrow Zero from Volume 2, first Connor Hawk.
Good one.
$10 for sure. I mean,
Pretty much
son of Oliver
anything
Queen.
Green Arrow,
I mean,
right?
pretty much everything Green Arrow is $10. There's no Green Arrow keys. They're all in the Golden Age or
You
in
can
like
get
other
like
titles.
every important Green Arrow character for like $10 or less.
Yeah, for sure. Like what, Count Vertigo and Merlin? Like, yeah, 10 to $20.
Merlin's actually a little more expensive. I've been having a hard time finding one for 10 to $20.
Really?
Yeah, but everything else is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Like issue one of like the first miniseries or the first
Yeah.
ongoing or all of that stuff pretty much.
Nobody wants to buy Green Arrow, but I think Green Arrow is sweet. We've been watching Smallville and we got to the point where he's introduced and he's sweet.
I
J
love him as Green Arrow. In fact,
Jazz
I
is a
think he's
big fan.
better than Stephen Amell.
Yeah, me too. Jazz probably thinks so as well. She's a Green Arrow fan.
And you know what? I don't want to get too off topic. Stephen Amell did really good for the first few seasons of Arrow, whatever. But he was just so serious, and it's fine. But
He was super duper serial.
but the one in Smallville was like literally perfect.
Yeah, he's sick.
Yeah, he's one of the best characters introduced into Smallville too.
Yeah, he gives it to you straight, gets you done. Badass, but not like Batman, like the other one. The other one was just Green Batman.
True.
The first season or like two were sick, and then it went straight into like I am Green Batman, and I'm like, okay, I'm out.
Facts.
But that aside, Connor Hawk cosign. Action Comics 595, the Silver Banshee.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't have that on my list either.
Cool character. I think it's cool design. I think they use her in like the animated shows and stuff like that because it's easier to adapt. But she's badass. I mean, she's been around. $10, why not? And then from there, I've got one more. It's New Teen Titans 99, the first appearance of Arsenal, which is
Wow.
yeah, and Speedy becomes Arsenal because he's grown up now.
You know what? I wish I had that one on my list. And I guess let me start there because I had that title on my list 3 times, but I did not think to put that issue on there.
I don't know, Green Arrow brain. Apparently, half the books are Green Arrow related.
Yeah, no, New Teen Titans issue 5. So first Trigun.
Trigon.
He was huge in the animated Teen Titans show.
Yeah, he was sweet.
So, and pretty powerful too. So I feel
He's
like you can get
strong.
that book for $10 or less.
Oh yeah.
Issue 16 as well,
Yeah.
Captain Carrot.
Oh yeah, dude. Captain Carrot's sick.
Yeah,
Ten
honestly,
dollars
that
all
book
day.
could pop off,
Yeah. They made an animated show. What if they made it in the art style of those Tootsie Pop commercials?
bro. I'd buy a few copies. And then
That shit
issue 26 as well, which is the first Terra.
all day, $10. I mean, anybody who's a fan of that original animated series is gonna want that book.
Yeah, and all those
Yeah.
books are like $10 or less.
Yeah, they're so affordable. You could just go find those like in pretty much any shop that stocks its bin.
Yeah, but we're running close to time, so let me just shoot off these last few.
Shoot, buddy.
Batman 436, first Tim Drake.
True.
There's a few of them. I bet you could get all of his appearances for $10 or less. Pretty big deal in the 90s. Obviously not my favorite Robin, but I think for $10 or less, you should pick up a copy for the first appearance of a Robin. You know what I
A lot
mean?
of people love him.
Speaking of which, I'm going out of order here, but Stephanie Brown, that's another Batman example where like $10 or
Spoiler.
less, yeah, you should get one. Some other detective books too. 471 is the first modern Hugo Strange. Because it's
Yeah.
such a long time between appearances, I do think that that book is worth it. That one might creep into the $20 range, but if you could find one for 10 bucks, cool. Also, Detective Comics 583. That's another one I think is probably close to 20. So it probably unlikely, but that's first Scarface, first ventriloquist. And I think that has the potential to be a pretty big book as well. Also, I missed this one. Detective Comics 1034. So that's the first flatline. It's kind of a new character, but for $10 or less, she shows up in everything Robin lately. I mean, like anything Damian Wayne related. And so I do see that character having potential moving forward.
Yeah.
Crisis on Infinite Earths issue one is cool for $10. I don't think that's a bad buy because the title is so iconic. Something kind of newer, Future State Wonder Woman 1. That's another book, kind of like Superior Spider-Man, that has a lot of appearances. So one's not really better
Oh.
than the other. But for $10, I think that's the first full appearance. And that's probably the one that's going to appreciate the best, in my opinion. I also got Green Lantern issue 49, that classic cover where Hal Jordan has all the different rings on when he's taken over by Parallax. I don't know if that's closer to a $20 book, but that's a pretty cool cover.
I
And I
don't
could
have
see
one.
that being labeled as a classic cover in general. Justice League of America 141. I think this is a huge sleeper. It's the first appearance of the Manhunters, which is primarily a Green Lantern villain, but they show up so much in the Justice League animated series that I
Yeah.
think that like this is a book that's on its way up. So, I mean, I would even lock one in after listening to this, but that's just my advice. Lobo
Well,
1
cool.
is pretty popular right now because the first Lobo is really expensive. But the first time Lobo appears in comics, it's not really accurate to like how we see him now. And in Lobo 1, it's a little more identical to how we know Lobo. So not only is it a issue one of the ongoing, but it's also a little closer to how everybody is familiar with Lobo.
Yeah, the rebrand,
I
the
got
full
Tales of
rebrand.
the Green Lantern Core 2, which is the first Necron, also a
Yep,
Green Lantern villain. You can definitely find this for 10 bucks or less. And
I
what
did.
was that comic book that we read that was really iconic? Was it Darkest Night or was it something else?
Brightest day.
Brightest Day. Either way,
We didn't read
it was like
Brightest day.
the biggest villain of like a huge story arc for Green Lantern. So I could see that being a pretty big book down the road. I mean, not huge, but maybe it creeps into that $25 range. And then last but not least, final book right in time, Wonder Woman 800, the first appearance of Trinity, so Wonder Woman's daughter, specifically the Trinity variant. It's a modern book, but I do think that it's worth picking up. She's right on the cover.
Why not?
Why not? Well, that was
Yeah.
great.
All in all, yeah, I think there's a lot of good books you can get for 10 bucks. Like, just stuff to keep on your radar if you're just kicking around some boxes. But yeah, maybe we could do this again sometime, maybe with a little bit of a higher price point. Maybe still, incrementally get up there, see what we recommend. Maybe do like 25 bucks next time, 20 bucks. Just go every $10. Just do it forever. You got 1,000 bucks. This is what you need. But
You know, it's crazy. There's so many books to get in so many different ranges. Like I
I
could probably
know.
find 30 bucks for $100. I could probably find 30 bucks for 1,000, and I could probably find 30 bucks for 10,000.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So yeah, maybe we'll do this again. But in the meantime, you can check out what we're doing at CBJ Pod on Instagram, CBJ Podcast on Facebook, Comic Book Junkies everywhere, Comic Book Junkies Podcast if you want to get specific. But yeah, let us know, reach out, say what's up. We appreciate y'all. We're gonna keep doing this thing.
We in too deep.
Like R2, D2, and C3PO. Dude, think about it. It's kind of how how it is when people see us roll up. That'd be
I'm
so funny.
C3PO and you're
Yeah, you're
R2D2.
taller.
Yeah,
It's literally just like I'm rolling up on the ground.
you felt like a can.
We're just walling around, fucking shit up.
Sweet. You know
Uh,
what? For Halloween, we should do that one year.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be so
I
funny.
want
Charlie
Charlie to
wouldn't
be
know what to
Qui-Gon.
do with himself. Yeah, we both thought about it. What did you say about Charlie?
I want him to be Qui-Gon.
Okay.
Who do you think Charlie should be?
I don't
Wanda.
know. Some kind of feminine character.
Princess Leia.
Yeah,
Dude, what if I win his Job of the Hut?
that'd be
But then that,
hilarious.
oh shoot.
Yeah.
Boba. Ooh, alternative. I'm Jabba the Hutt. You're Boba Fett. Being
Sure.
Boba Fett would be so hard on fucking Halloween, dude. If
Yeah,
you had
but
like a,
Charlie still has to meet Princess Leia.
I'll have him
But you
on
just
like a
captured him and he's
chain.
wearing that bikini.
Fucking attached to a chain. I'm fucking Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Paint
He
me
walks
blue.
you around
That'd be hilarious.
to pick up candy from adults. All
Glenn could be
right.
Han Solo.
We should
Um,
probably go.
yeah, that's enough of that. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sorry, guys.
see you next time.
Yeah. Hopefully. Later.